So now that we know the basics of page creation, we're ready to start diving deeper into linking other pages to subpages and creating subpages of parent pages. So right now, I want my test documentation page to be a parent page. So to make a subpage of this page, I'm going to press C, or the plus sign, and it's going to create a page, just like we did before, as a subpage of whatever page I'm already on. So it's going to create a subpage of test documentation. I'll call it blank, and I'm going to call it page 1, just for simplicity's sake. And I'm going to also, not going to publish just yet. I'm going to link other pages in here, which is a very useful tool in Confluence. So it allows someone, if they're reading your documentation and you reference a different subsystem, like steering, for example, you can then link their homepage. So if they're not familiar with the steering system you're referencing, they can go read about it and then come back to your page. So if I just type in breaks home, or just breaks, and I want to link it to breaks home, I can highlight it, hit the link, and then so search is inside of our Confluence. So I do breaks, I can click breaks home, insert, and it should be a link to breaks home. Next, if I want to do a web page link, I want to do Google, and do the same thing. I can highlight it, insert link. This time it's a web link, and this is going to be Google, and then insert, and it should be a web link to Google. Next, I'm going to publish this. But next, what I'm going to do is add labels to this, because labels, just like titles, help Confluence search for like pages, so like similar pages. So if I want to do like test on this, which is already a label we have, I add that label to it, and then whenever you search test, this will come up, even though it says page 1. Not hit add. Don't forget to hit add there. It should pop up there. And then at the bottom there, you can see the labels that are associated with it. And then if you click on this, it should bring up all other pages associated with test, which are just page 1 and test documentation. So that's how labels work, and they help Confluence search for pages inside Confluence. Next, so now I have my parent page is test documentation and my sub page as page 1, but I want to provide a link to page 1 inside test documentation. So I'm going to go into edit, and instead of doing the same thing before and highlighting and linking each sub page of this page, there's a good macro. So Confluence has a bunch of macros that do stuff for you automatically. The one that is really important for us, because the way we organized it with folder pages and sub pages, is children display. And so I want to choose like heading 2 or something. I think it looks really cool. Page 1, this little preview it gives you. And I can drag and drop this wherever I want to. So I'm going to just drag it right below heading. I'm going to publish it. And now we should see a link provided to page 1 right below heading, just like kind of the preview had it. And if I click on this, it should take me straight to page 1. And any subpage I make from test documentation will get an additional link here thanks to the children display macro. I really encourage you guys to go look at all the macros when you have time, and they're really powerful tools. They're just really overwhelming when you look at them all together. So use that search feature when you want to find something. It's very helpful. Last thing, if I want to make a template of this, so page 1 is going to be like a weekly occurring page I'm going to make in Confluence. Creating a template in Confluence is very challenging, but a really easy workaround for that is just the 3 dots up here, copy, and then it'll create in the same parent page, copy of page 1, and you just delete the copy of, make it page 2, change the title, change everything you want in here, and then publish, and you effectively have page 1 as your template for page 2. That's a really easy way to do similar pages together without having to remake the entire page layout and everything like that. Last thing, oh yeah, another really powerful part of pages here, you can do page history, which, I mean, this one only has one version, but if I hit page history and the 3 dots up here, it'll show all the other pages, and I can like click on one, and then I'll choose test documentation. I go here, page history. I'll see all the other versions I've had of it, and if I click on one, I can restore it, and then just hit OK. It'll show the old test documentation history, or version. So I can go to page history, and now this is the one that's reverted from version 6, so version 9 is the most recent one. Hit OK. and then bam, I have it back again from the way we just made it. That's really that's like the advanced techniques you have with parent pages, sub pages, linking other pages and websites through Confluence. And then also the labels help you organize all of your similar pages together, and also the page history in case like anything bad happens or you make a mistake or you just want to go back to the previous version of the page for whatever reason. There's that. And that's pretty much all you need to know. Everything else in Confluence, I recommend you dive deeper in, and really the best way to get your hands on Confluence and like get a really good firm understanding of it is by doing it. Watching these videos are great, but like do it. Jump in there and make pages, delete them all, revert them all back, make pages, document anything. And again, with documentation, it's key that just like it's a way of the project. So like every time you do something, you throw it on Confluence, make a little blurb. It doesn't have to be long. So something easy. Something breaks, make a little reason why you think it breaks. And then if you get a workaround, edit that page, put the workaround in there, and that's perfect.